Winter is now upon us, and that can mean only one thing. The DNA Winter Series is back. For the 8th season of our flagship series, we will be going to a whole host of venues across the country, experiencing the highs and lows of cold water carp fishing. So sit back, grab yourself a cuppa and enjoy the ride. Welcome back to the Winter Series, Bartman.
What makes you think it's winter? What a joke.
Oh man, the whole country's on lockdown lake-wise. Yeah, everywhere's solid. And, well, you're a busy man. We've pulled you out of retirement. I don't think we've seen you for a little while. And we were desperate to get this film shot. And we've pulled out all the stops here to try and fish.
So the last time we filmed here,
4 years ago, that
4 odd years ago, and it was the record of
high pressure you've ever seen in your life.
50 or 60 years. It was like 1,050 millibar.
Yeah,
it's the record for however many years, and it was dire then, and it ain't looking much better now. But I promise you, there are some fish in the lake. And Mozza's promised me when the weather's good and the fish are feeding nicely, he's going to come back and have a proper go.
We will, but yeah, so obviously lake looked like it was going to defrost last night, didn't it? So you called me last night. We were meant to be going to Orchid. We've had to can that for a bit of a later date.
Well, Oxford's got its own, climate there. Whenever I've been to Oxford, it's always over like 4 or 5 degrees colder than it is here, and the other way in the summer, if it's 20 degrees here, it's about 35 degrees there. So last night it looked like this was going to defrost. It was 5 degrees at like 9 o'clock last night, and there was just a slight frost this morning. It just sealed it back over, but we've managed to break a bit of ice so we can get the rods out. Like we said, we're not holding much hope, but
no. But we can.
Got to be in it to win it. If we get a bite, then Mego's been doing some good fish just before it defrosted. You know, a lot of 20-pounders coming out. There was a new 30 out last week.
Yeah. So if you haven't guessed already, we're actually at Acorn Fishery. So we're at Bart's Lake. There's not many venues where they would allow you to go out, obviously, in a boat, smash the death out of the ice, just so you could get some rods in. I think they'd just turn us away at the gates and go home, lads.
They'd probably send you to a mental inn. That's where we should be, really. But we're here. We'll be able to get the rods out tonight. We'll see what I think, looking at it, it's going to go cold again tonight. So we're going to get one shot at putting the rods out now. So we're going to get the rods in place. It's going to be our only shot. It's not like we're going to be able to do anything else, because I think by the morning it's going to have a lid on it again. So we'll just see what happens, really. If we get one, then happy days. If we don't, we're in for a cold night. Doing a few biscuits and a few cups of tea by the looks of it.
Right, well, now you've cleared a couple of channels for us. We've got a little bit of wobbly water. I suppose we should start thinking about getting some rods sorted now, eh?
Yeah, 100%, because we,
Before you know it, it'll be pitch black, it'll be dark, and you'll be back out there in the boat smashing the ice again.
Like rowing around in a little dinghy. Right, no, I can't. Let's get some rods on.
Let's get sorted.
first rod I'm going to stick out on the main island in front of me. There's like a little stump, and it's like an old willow tree, and underneath that it's like undercut a little bit. And I think that's going to be worth putting a rod on there. If I was a fish, I'd like to be sort of hiding somewhere, and I think that little undercut, maybe I can, yeah, sneak one out of there. This is the rig that I'm going to be using. It's nice and simple. It's just an uncoated braided hook length, just on a leg clip. And then I suppose that's almost like what they'd call German style, just knotless knotted it, but cut the what would be your hair off the back. And then I've just got a little PB dumbbell, just with a few maggots on the top, just a little ring and a hook bead. And the reason why I've done that is so I can, the reason why I'm using an uncoated hook length is so I can attach a PVA bag, and then I can just hook the hook into the bag so it's not going to get caught any leaves, because obviously that's a willow tree and those leaves are now like in the lake. Hopefully it'll be quite clean down there. If the fish are in there, they normally sort of like nudge all the leaves out the way, but if there are any leaves down there, by putting my hook bait, you know, in a nice sort of decent sized PVA bag, that'll just sit nicely and stop the hook point getting fouled with anything. Like the way I'm going to put the rig into position is just literally flick onto the main island. I've got a bridge on the other side of the island, and I'm just going to flick onto the island, walk round, and just drop it in right underneath that canopy, right up against that little stump, and hopefully it'll get us a bite. Oh, hopefully all the rods get us a bite. We'll have a mint trip then. Yeah, nice and simple, but it's the spot. Just trying to get a bite out of that little tree.
Plan of attack for me was to use my trusted solid bags that have worked so well for me this winter. Using a brand new product to the DNA range, the insect meal masks the hook bait perfectly, then followed by some crayfish mini mix pellets along with some red maggots to finish the bag off. I added a base layer of maggots into the baiting spoon, then a few dollops of the liquid liver hydroslate, followed by some yeast extract. This would help the maggots get down onto the spot over the PVA bag with loads of attraction. All 3 rods were put out to the same distance using the bushwhacker.
Well, I've got that first rod in position out to the island, and with the limited space I've got in the swim because of the way the ice is in the channel, like I've not got too much scope. So what I'm going to do is just put like a tiny little baited area, probably like 10 spods, just as tight as I can get it, and then I'm going to get a couple of rods on the same rig and hook bait and everything over the top. But I'm just going to use my sort of like go-to standard winter approach. It serves me well every winter. Like really love the way that I sort of like knock my little mix up, just which I'll show you anyway. But yeah, 10 spods, and I'm going to get 2 rods right over the top, nice and tight. That's just at the bottom of the shelf where it comes off the bottom, like down the bottom of the island, so it comes out on the flat. It's really nice and clean there as well. And there's 2 on the island, there's 2 silver birches, so I'm aiming at one of the silver birches, so can really sort of get it nice and accurate and tight. I would say that, so when I catch a fish and I can recast, but I don't think that's going to be the case. That's what I was going for then. I was like, yeah, I can see it at night, which is like, you know, if it wasn't frozen, that would be the case. But yeah, I'll be able to look at it, but I won't be able to rechuck. So yeah, but anyway, that's what I'm aiming for. If it defrosts, I'll be able to recast. But there you go. Let's get the rods out. That's literally what I was going to say. I was like, yeah, I can see it at night. Right hand silver perch.
God, it's like summer out here.
Not.
Definitely not. Right, rods are sorted. I've managed to get mine out. Using the baiting pole means that I can get the icebergs out of the way, actually get the lines out. You had a bit of drama getting your rods out, didn't you?
Oh,
the icebergs.
There was nothing, and then just as I was like wanting to put the rods out, literally this little patch of ice just kind of sat above where, you know, where I was going to fish. But yeah, they're out, so there's a chance, slim chance. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed, definitely. We're just lapping up the last of this freezing cold sun at the minute.
It's mad that the day's just gone, isn't it?
Yeah, the day has absolutely flown by indeed. Now I've gone in with 2 solid bags on one rod, and then the old
2 solid bags on one rod.
One rod. Yeah, there's a new one.
Takes a bit of doing, doesn't it?
It's a new one. That's how they fish up here. 2 solid bags on one rod. 2 solid bags out there, obviously on 2 different rods. 2 different rods?
2 different. He's got two. Basically, what he's saying is he's got 2 rods on solid bags.
Yeah.
And then what was your 3rd rod doing?
On a Ronnie. That one's on a Ronnie. It's been a long day, couldn't you tell? I've been on the road since 4 o'clock this morning. But yeah, that's out there at the moment. Got some new products that we're trying out as well at the minute, but we'll speak about that a little bit later on once we start hauling. So, you reckon?
Yeah, we'll make sure we've got at least 10 in the sling.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about these new products.
Say how good the new products are first.
Yeah, so so that's the state of play at the minute. Rods are out there, and we're hopeful.
And starving.
And starving.
I'm literally dying.
Yeah,
I've not had any. Did you have any breakfast on the way down or not?
No, nothing. I've eaten nothing all day.
I'm starting to feel a rib, and I'm pretty good at eating, so I'm going to go and eat some food.
Sounds like a plan, man.
What are you doing?
Waiting for you to cook me some food.
Standard.
So, right, that's the state of play. Let's hope one of them rods sings away underneath the ice.
That would be nice. Under the ice.
Little MCU.
Nice and ice. Ice, ice, boom.
Oh, we knew that one was coming. Good morning. It's a frosty morning, that's for sure. All the rods are absolutely frozen. But I wasn't last night because of this lovely hut that I stayed in. It was quite warm in here. And yeah, I got a good night's kip, which is unfortunate because I don't think I've ever actually caught one under the ice before. I might have done it when I was younger, mad and being out fishing. For some crazy reason, I'm still hopeful that me or Bart might actually get one. I don't know if Bart's up yet. I'll go and wake him up in a minute and get a morning update off of him. But yeah, for some sad reason, I'm still hopeful that something might happen, because if anything does, I feel like it'd be epic. So let's go and wake him up and see if there's anything occurring in his swim, because in mine, them bobbins have stayed exactly where they were last night when I put them out.
Good morning. That was a nippy one last night, down to sort of -5 or 6. Lake's completely frozen. It's not looking too hopeful, to be fair. Well, it's what it is. Can't move, can't recast. Just sat here waiting. Hopefully we'll get one. It would be cool to get one under the ice, to be honest. I haven't caught fish like that for a long time. Yeah, it's what it is, I suppose. Frozen in. Can't watch them boshing or fizzing over the spot or anything. It's got a lid on it. But this is, you know, this is winter fishing. Winter fishing all over. I've had a little occurrence on one of the rods, and I got a funny feeling I got one on. Well, I'm pretty sure I got one on. So what I'm going to do is just bosh a little hole to get the net in, and then before we pick the rod up, and then we're going to play it in. So yeah, let's crack on. Ready?
Bring that in your rod bag.
Yeah, so this fits perfectly in the Avid tri-sleeve. Can be a bit of 4v2. Right. Gonna move that rod over there, out of the way. obviously picked up my other rod, which is dead handy. Nice £35 common through the ice. Thanks for no, my luck, it'd be about £3 common.
No. No.
I don't reckon it's on that rod. It's on this rod.
It's on that rod.
Come off.
No.
Where's that come off of there? Yeah, look, the line, it must have been on that rod, the line's cut through that. Try this rod.
Is there one on there?
Yeah. Right, so as I've perfectly got the other two rods out of the way, how's that sound? What's that thing that goes so so yeah, so we got one under here. So I broke me little hole in the ice. Just need me landing net. Yeah, ideal. What I'm going to do is net it nice and close to the bank. And you need a little patch. Yeah, get the fish nice and close to the bank. Oh gosh. Lovely jubbly, nice little mirror. On that bag that I dropped in. There you go. Right, well, after that circus, yeah, we haven't blanked. We got one in the bag. Happy days. I mean, he's a pretty one. He could be being a bit bigger, but he's all right. Well, we won't be getting the rods back out, so yeah. Right, let's get him on the mat. Ice, ice, baby. Yeah, nice to get one under the ice. I've not caught one under the ice for a long time, and to be fair, we've done really well to avoid the sort of 150 odd 20s I got in the lake and the 14 odd 30s. So yeah, we've done really well to avoid them and catch one of my nice little stockies, one for the future, as they say. But nonetheless, it's a fish, saves the blank. Nice, really. I've had a great crack with Mozza as well. Because of the ice, is, you know, not a lot to do fishing wise. Yeah, this little fella, I caught him under that stump that you saw me dropping the rig in by hand. Just off that little stump, there's like a little undercut bit there, and that's a typical house for something like this to live in. You know, nice little bit of security. They got a nice little cave. They go in there, pop out for a bit of food now and again, and yeah, just a typical fish from that sort of spot. But yeah, let's pop this one back. I'm just going to run you through what I use in the colder months. It's something that I've used for a long time, I've got a lot of confidence in. And I've just got some bug boilies there, 8 mils and 15s. And I just soak those overnight in a bit of hot water and a little bit of bug food liquid. And then all I want to do is just push them through the riddle. I don't need loads of bait, just a couple of handfuls. And I'm not going to push them all through. I push like half through, and then I just roll a few around on the top, So I've got like those, you can see they're still like a boilie, but it's just knocked all those edges off, and that just gives you a different angle on it. That goes in there. And then all I do then is some mini crayfish mix, tiny little pellets. They absolutely stink, these pellets, but they're good because they don't sort of, the smell of them is really, really attractive, but they don't fill your peg up with loads of food when, you know, when you don't want to feed a lot, but you want that attractiveness in your swim. I put a few of them. A little bit of insect meal. That's a really fine powder. And then once you mix that up, it goes fairly dry. Just stick a bit of the juice out the boilies in there. Don't matter if a few boilies go in there. A little bit of bug food liquid. You don't need loads. It's quite a concentrated liquid. And if you were putting loads of liquid in, then I'd go for like a hydro bug spod syrup. But because this is a concentrated version, I'm getting it to soak into the bait, so that's how I'm going to deliver it into the peg. I'm not putting it in a liquid form. That's just like a really nice little claggy mix that'll soak in a little bit. That's perfect. You can do whatever you want with that. And then just to top it off, just a couple of handfuls of maggots. That's just a lovely little mix. Plenty of smell, really attractive. A few little grubs, it keeps the carp just mooching about. Always offering like a little bit of food, but plenty of attractiveness for you to put your rigs over the top and get a bite. I've been down to Mozza's swim and nicked his baiting pole, and they're pretty handy really. If you want to be nice and quiet and a bit stealthy, then you know these are the kiddie. I'm going to try and use it slightly different. So obviously I've got no rods in the water now. I'm going to try and ship it out under the ice, back under to that stump. Don't know how it's going to go. Might not work. Might work. Whatever. Going to give it a go. Yeah, we're here, so I may as well try and get my rods out. All I want to do, because obviously I'm not going to be able to see the scoop on the end, so I'm going to measure it across the ice to where I want to go, so I know I've got the right length of pole and that, and then I'm going to ship it underneath with my lead in, and then I can still walk round, just break the ice out, clip my rig on, and drop it by hand, and then all I've got to do is just pull the pole back. Yeah. Oh, I should have put my rig in there. Couple of 20s on this tonight. Job's a good one. Welcome to the winter series.
He's on there, isn't he? He's on the island, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coming like that there. That's where it's in the really thin bit of ice next to the bank. We're on, John. You stick with me, Mozza. Even me lighter's got the ump. EVA bag in like that. Then you get your knot. And you twist it over like that. And then you pull that like that. And it hangs lovely, jubbly. Oh, it's pretty defrosted over here now, isn't it?
Yeah, here I made the smoothie to put me bottom.
Yeah.
I just use my bucket lid just to clear this hair so get rod in.
Yeah, you I reckon, like that lad, he caught him here the other day, literally just like there.
On the bank.
It's literally just there. Right, so obviously I've got the spoon, and all I'm doing is using it to just chip away at the ice, because it popped up a couple of yards to my right. And then you can see, look at that. It's the old saying, Bob's your uncle. Look at him. Look, dip your line round, get him all nice and straight. Oh, hello. PV, sticking the lead in the ground there just so it doesn't lose it. And then literally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the scoop section off to make it easier for Mozza or me to pull the pipe back in. So that is all ice free now there. If he pulls the stick out my way. Yes. Teamwork makes the dream work. Some bug crumb, a few 8mm, bit of micros and a nice new little product that we're going to show you. I've got my little wafter. I've not bothered to put any maggots on top of the wafter or anything. I just literally got a wafter. Nice PB wafter, nice and bright, in a bag of maggots. And then all I've got to do is make sure my line is over there, away from that little stick. I hate sticks. Get right on my nerves. Right, so yes, Barry. We're in, right? And then just wait for the bubbles to come up out the PV bag. There they are. Sweet. And I've got no reason not to. If you was spotted, you'd put a bit of liquid. I'm just going to pour a little bit of liquid. Only a couple of capsules over the top. So I've got loads of attraction. One nice bright hook bait. A few little boilies and some pellets. And we're fishing. That rod is in the drink. Come on. Get me another 8-pounder. That's got Stocky written all over it, I reckon. Come on, let's have a big one. Just a big one. Do you know what I mean? Just like, oh, hello, here's a 35 common. Here's a 30 mirror. Come on. Right, so I'm going to just walk this out because I need to know from the open water rod how far out I am on the pole. So I've just literally chucked my spom in the spoon. Just going to walk this up the pole, disconnect it where it's clipped up. Right, well, that's where I'm clipped up, so that's distance straight out. What I'm going to do is disconnect that off of there. Then I know that I can just push that straight towards the tree that I was aiming at, which was the silver birch. Straight out, whoop, tip her out, job's good. And I know, because I ain't caught fish off of that spot, I know that I'll probably still have some bait there from last night. So all I'm going to do is get my rig ready. Not going to use PVA bag because basically it'll melt before I get it out to the spot. So what I'm going to do is just knock up a bit of sticky, like claggy mix. I'm just going to mould around my leg clip like an old school sort of method feeder. That'll do. Milk bait hanging out the back. Job's a good one. I'm not going to mess about too much, like trying to line it up too much or anything like that. I'm just literally shipping it out to somewhere near where I was fishing. I'm just gonna bong it out. Right. That should be on the dance floor.
I'll tell you one thing's for sure, I'm glad we got these huts to sleep in. Mate, what are we doing out here? What are you chewing on?
My sweet's that hard for Nicole. It took me about 5 minutes for I'll just have a quick sweet before he starts.
Oh man, isn't it cold?
Freezing.
Oh, it's a joke, isn't it? What are we doing on this bloody winter series? Surely I should be allowed to retire by now.
No.
Yeah.
If I'm in it, you're in it.
Like that, is it? Right, that was a result being able to get them rods out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I wouldn't say it was a lot of faff in your ear, aren't you? You might as well try.
Yeah. Because we sort of thought that's it, game over now that you've had that one, which, by the way, is just ridiculous you've actually caught one.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice if it was like a nice 20.
No, leave that to me, don't
worry
about that.
I'll let you have the 20. Yeah, you know, that was like one of my little on growers that would be like fish of the future or whatever. But yeah, it is nice to, you know, it is nice to get one under the ice. Nice to get one under the ice.
God, you're the right MC this time, Rat. It's normally my job, that.
Yeah. I'm better than you already.
Yeah. So you managed to get 2 out at the very least. 1 back on the spot that you caught one from.
Yeah, and then the other one as near as to where I put that bait as possible. I just made like a little method ball, so that would just go down like a bit like a giant solid bag, really. Yeah, if it goes, it goes. You never know, do you? It's fishing, anything can happen, and yeah, we just fingers crossed. But I mean, it's absolutely Baltic. We could do with a nice cup of tea.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we're going to be sat out in this long. No. I'm going to fill my hot water bottle up and get my head down.
Yeah, I think that's probably our best bet. In all fairness, I really hope we get another bite tomorrow. That would be epic.
Yeah, it would be awesome. So just it would be nice to get a fisher piece, and then well, it'd be nice if I had like a nice 30, and then
No, but you stick to them small ones, son.
I'm surprised it wasn't a common. That's normally my sketch, isn't it?
True. Yeah,
£10 common central.
Yeah. Right. Let's see what's going to happen tonight. Let's hope it happens on my side.
Fingers crossed it's not.
Don't be like that.
Right, it went down to -7 last night. It's a little bit warmer this morning. It's probably maybe 1 degree, 2 degrees. It's warmed up a little bit.
The ice has started.
But last night, we were up fairly late, and it was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold.
Yeah. Like I say, we looked at the thermometer that I got over on the side of the shed, and it's it was -7, which, no good.
No good.
No good.
Yeah, nothing on the rods for me. So although you've had an occurrence on your left hander, haven't you, which have...
Yeah, I had like a little sort of up and down, like a little shake around. Do the okey cokey and bug it off.
No turnaround. Yeah, nightmare. But yeah, I think it's probably time to
knock
it quits
on the head.
Yeah, I think we've definitely done well to at least get 1 bite out of this session, because it wasn't looking good from the off. When I got here and you were smashing the ice in the boat, I just thought, God, what are we doing?
It's hard as well, because when you make a commotion like that, and you know what it's like when lakes are defrosted. If you're the only one fishing, I see it all the time. Like the lakes fish better when there's more people fishing.
Yeah.
And like especially like when it's iced up now, they just back off under the ice. You can't get to them. Like the noise of the ice breaking. It's
although you can get to them with that pole.
Well, yeah, you can get to them with the old pole. Yeah. But it's just not. It's not a deal. I see it when, like I say, when the lakes are defrosted and someone sets up, the fish just move off the side of you or back off.
Yeah.
They're fished for. They're fished for fish. I just think. And like the weather's not great. I mean, the last time we filmed it, like we said earlier, it was like a record-breaking air temperature for like 50 odd years or something stupid like that.
1,045,
and it ain't far behind that now.
No.
So yeah.
So right, I think it's time to call it quits, mate.
Yeah, we've got 2 eyelids to go and look at on the back of on the nice warm sofa. I think just have a nice chilled afternoon.
Much needed. Right.
Defrost.
Let's head home. Into the warm.
Let's get the flock out of here, said the shepherd.
Let's go.